let's talk about Warlock Rebirth, all right? Now, it's going to be a little bit hard to review this one without giving spoilers, but I will try my best. I'm trying to give a spoiler-free review and dive into a more detailed review that will contain some spoilers, though nothing major, okay? So this series, honestly, was a bit of a letdown coming off of Silver Surfer Rebirth. So I reviewed Silver Surfer Rebirth Legacy, which I think wasn't as good as Silver Surfer Rebirth, the first 5-issue limited series, but I thought it was still really solid. This one, so this one is in between. It's sandwiched in between those two series. Those two Silver Surfer Rebirth series is the Warlock Rebirth series. Same creative team, just not as engaging as either of the Silver Surfer Rebirth ones. It just felt a little flat. And it's maybe because I like Silver Surfer more than I like Adam Warlock. I will say, though, within this series, there's this great bit between Spider-Man and Daredevil, and it's kind of like they're almost having it's very meta, because like they're having a conversation that you would have with your friends. But like, so is Kingpin really like a Spider-Man villain, or is it a Daredevil villain? Like, where does Kingpin rank? Who's his main nemesis? Is it Spider-Man? Is it Daredevil? And like in the Daredevil series, it's Kingpin. That's his arch main rival in that series. So that Marvel's kind of told you that. But yeah, there's just a good bit between them about how they debate that and like who gets to claim Kingpin as their villain. So I mean, I wouldn't say that that's like completely worth the entire investment in this series. There is more to it. And I don't want to say that's a bad series. It's just a letdown from the Silver Surfer Rebirth series. So it's just not as good as that, but it's tough because I love that series. All right. A lot to live up to. It's not easy. It's okay if you're not as good. Doesn't mean you're not good enough. All right. It's a good lesson for everybody out there. So this series continues right where Silver Surfer Rebirth, the first one, leaves off, and it leads right into Silver Surfer Rebirth Legacy. Now, I will say you don't have to read this to enjoy Silver Surfer Rebirth Legacy, which I've already covered. But if you want continuity for it, and you just like really want the full story, then this is definitely worth a read. It's not 100% necessary. You can still enjoy Silver Surfer Rebirth Legacy without doing Warlock Rebirth, but it does enhance it, I will say. Now that I've gone over just kind of my general review of it, let's get into the actual plot itself. This might contain some spoilers. It's kind of impossible not to. But also, as I've covered before, is that it's kind of tough to avoid spoilers anyways if you're collecting the comic books themselves. Now, if you're just reading the paperbacks or it digitally, not checking out the covers, then it's maybe a little bit easier to avoid the spoilers. But it's kind of tough when you're collecting the series and you're pre-ordering not to have a little bit of things spoiled for you. All right, I'm of course talking about, here's a spoiler alert, Eve Warlock. She has been created by the High Evolutionary to succeed Adam Warlock, who was like his original creation. And Eve Warlock is supposed to be the perfect specimen and to help worlds and evolution thrive, which is what the High Evolutionary, his pompous ass, thinks that it's his job to do. So this series mainly revolves around the battle between Adam and Eve. And also Adam trying to figure out if he even wants to fight. He's like, nah, I'm cool. I'm good just chilling in the soul world. And, I had my chance to lead the world, mankind, and to the highest evolution possible. I failed. Now, Eve, you can do it. Adam Warlock can be kind of a moody little bitch sometimes. He's a little emo. He's a little, yeah. I mean, he's got that in common with Silver Surfer. He's a little melodramatic. But of course, Adam Warlock's friends won't let him give up. And that's what good friends do. They don't quit on you. They won't let you quit on yourself. And so Adam Warlock's friends go to rescue him out of his depression and tell him that, no, the world really does need Adam Warlock. Now, if this sounds like kind of an underwhelming plot, it's because it is. But I think this is all just a setup for Eve to have a bigger part in the Rebirth series going forward. So it's an origin story, and it's not a bad read. It's just not an essential read. So unfortunately, Adam Warlock Rebirth was a victim to high expectations on my part. But still, it's a good enough read. Like I said, if you really like the Silver Surfer Rebirth series itself, then pick this up. But if you skip it, I won't blame you.